SMA Nigeria Media proudly presents SMA Yesterday Series 3 on this day, the 17th of February 2025. SMA Yesterday is a weekly journey into the history of the missionaries of the Society of African Missions, SMA, from its foundation in Lyon, France in 1856 to the present day. In this captivating third episode, uncover the gripping story of the SMA's foundation. Follow the intrepid missionary journeys of the founder and his steadfast companions to the bustling city of Freetown, and witness the poignant events that culminated in their tragic yet heroic demise. Happy viewing.
Bishop Melchior de Marie Bressiac returned to France via Rome, and while he was there, he was asked to write a comprehensive report on the state of the Church in India. This was well received and acted upon some years later. The desire for missionary service continued to burn in the heart of the young retired bishop. He studied various possibilities, he prayed and he sought advice, and finally he requested that the Congregation for the Propagation of the Faith would send him to Africa. This was a largely unknown continent at that time. Melchior de Marie Bressiac felt that there was, however, huge scope for his particular vision of evangelization. Eventually, in a letter dated the 26th of February 1856, Rome formally stated that Bishop de Marie Bressiac was allowed to go to Africa, provided that he set up a group of like-minded missionaries to continue the mission. This was truly a moment of great joy, as well as being a huge challenge for the new founder. The Society of African Missions was formally consecrated to Our Lady at the great shrine of Our Lady of Fourvière, overlooking the city of Lyon in France, on the 8th of December 1856. With the help of some excellent priest volunteers, new aspirants, and many friends and contacts, the work of laying the foundation for the new society intensified. Then in 1858, Melchior de Marie Bressiac formulated the fundamental articles of the Society of African Missions, a charter which describes the aim, nature, government, lifestyle and spirituality of the society. On the 28th of October 1858, the first SMA missionary team left for Freetown, Sierra Leone, West Africa. They arrived after an interesting voyage on the 12th of January 1859.
Bishop Founder was very anxious to get to the new area of work. He wanted to go to his own diocese. And so on the 14th of May, 1859, together with two new missionaries, the founder arrived in Freetown, Sierra Leone. Now, he couldn't have arrived at a worse time, because the city was in a state of panic and terror because of a raging epidemic of yellow fever. There were no vaccines, no efficient medicines to deal with this illness, and people were dying like flies. Now, the SMA group just tried to take all the precautions that they could and then try to help the sick. But within 3 weeks of the founder's arrival, 3 of the missionaries were dead of yellow fever. One died on June 2nd, another on June 5th, the third on June 13th. A fourth was sent home by the founder to France. Fortunately, he was able to get a passage on a passing ship. He was sent home for health reasons. He didn't have yellow fever, but he had prolonged headaches and was beginning to exhibit bizarre behavior. So he was sent home. Now the bishop was extremely distressed by what had happened, the deaths of 3 missionaries. And he wrote and expressed his sadness and grief. And he was particularly worried of the negative effect these events could have on the group left behind in France, a group of students and other priests preparing to come to West Africa. However, in all his communications with France or Rome, he always acknowledged that he accepted and he was resigned to the will of God.
Then the founder himself grew gravely ill. On the morning of the 25th of June 1859, it was clear that the end was near. His only remaining confrère, Father Raymond, who was ill himself, was carried to the founder's bedside and administered the last rites. The priest was too ill to remain there and was carried back to his own sickbed. Mr. Bremond, from the French consulate, and Mr. Quinn, an Irish businessman, kept vigil. Towards the end, the founder opened his eyes and muttered, "Faith, hope, and shh." He was unable to find the last word. Mr. Bremond added, "Charity," to which the founder said, "Thank you," and then closed his eyes and died. He was 45 years old.
Now, there was no Catholic priest left to conduct a burial service for the founder. So some prayers were said at the graveside by a Protestant minister, and the burial was attended by some prominent citizens of Freetown. 3 days later, Father Raymond himself died and was buried with his comrades. And thus ended the first SMA mission to West Africa.
So then we might well ask, what was the legacy of the Venerable Melchior de Marian Bresiac? When told of the untimely death of Marian de Bresiac and some of his companions in Freetown, Sierra Leone, Pope Pius IX exclaimed, "Sunt martyres," they are martyrs. He then added, "The work will live." Yes, it will live, and so it has.
We hope you were captivated by this episode. This presentation comes to you courtesy of SMA Broadcast of the Irish Province. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more incredible stories from SMA Yesterday. Kindly subscribe to all our social media handles so as to get notified whenever we upload new content. To get more information about the activities of the Society of African Missions in Nigeria, visit our website at www.smafathersnigeria.org. Thank you.